Welcome to Stevie's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you another simple, quick, and easy meal prep recipe that you're going to add to your rotation and it's going to become a staple. Today I'm going to make a honey lemon salmon bites with broccoli and rice. You're going to love it. So right here I have 1.5 cups of rice, 2 cups of water, already been soaking for a couple hours. This just allows the rice to get a little softer, have a nice fluffier texture. I'm going to put it on the stove top for 20 minutes. And during that time, I'm going to get this salmon cubed and get this sauce made. So by the time that is done cooking on the stove top and the salmon is seared, we'll already have our meal prep ready. And like I tell you all the time, when it comes to my meal prep, sometimes I use just frozen veggies, and I have frozen broccoli for it today. Take 2 to 3 minutes to cook. This recipe from start to finish should take you no longer than 30 minutes. So now that we got the rice on the stove top, we're gonna start getting this salmon cubed. You can cut fillets if you want to. It's basically the same way. We're gonna cook it the same way, whether it's in a fillet or in cube form. For this version, I just want to do a cube form. Just kind of makes it a little funner to eat. So let's get our whole salmon out. So now we're just gonna make little cubes. Like everything with cooking, the closer to uniform cuts you can get, the better. Because then you can have everything cook at the same temperature, same time. You don't have any pieces that are too big, too small. One might overcook, one might undercook. Even these little thin pieces down here, I'll cook them at a different time than the rest, but they'll all go in together at the start. So now that we got this salmon cubed, we're gonna take a little bit of cornstarch. We're just gonna sprinkle a little bit over, just to kind of coat this a little bit. I'm gonna take my offhand and I'm gonna toss it. This cornstarch serves 2 purposes. One, it's gonna use, whenever we sear it, it's gonna add another layer of crust for the salmon. And then 2, whenever I make that lemon honey butter sauce, so it'll absorb that flavor and it'll take on that. It's a lot easier to toss the meat with your hands. So now we're gonna get the salmon seared off already and tossed in the cornstarch. As you can tell, I have a separate bowl over here so I can have my raw salmon and my cooked salmon. So I got my pot going, or my pan going. So just gonna get a little bit of butter into the pan. Get this butter evenly coating all the surface. So we're gonna cook the salmon only about 2-3 minutes on each side. Drop it in our cubes. And yes, there hasn't been any seasoning put on this, which is completely fine, because whenever we toss this sauce, we toss it in the sauce, that's where we're gonna add our salt, our pepper, like I said, the lemon, the honey, and it's gonna gain all that flavor from that. So we do not need to over season it right now. And yes, I am individually placing these instead of tossing them all in. And that's just because I want a good even cook. And if I toss them all in, they'll be all bunched up in the pan. So just by individually placing these in, I can flip them and do all that I need to. When you will know to flip your salmon, a good trick is the fish will move itself. If you try to move it too fast, sometimes it will stick to the bottom and tear away. But if you allow the fish to move on its own, then that's when you know you can properly move it. Simply checking that. So you can just pick it up, and you just do a simple little shake. You see that it's all moving? That means you can now flip. Like I said, 2 to 3 minutes for all of this. So we got about another minute to transfer over to this bowl, then we'll get our new batch started, going from there. Cooking my salmon to about a medium, because whenever you're gonna toss it back into the sauce, it's gonna cook a little bit longer. And then honestly, whenever you reheat this for your meal prep, you're gonna cook it a little bit more. So cooking it to a well done from the jump, it's gonna make it a little tough whenever you're eating it later in the week. So purposely cook it under. So now we're gonna take this same pan, It's pretty hot, but the sauce will be super quick. I have 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna pour in about 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm gonna juice 1 lemon. I'm gonna turn this heat off. Some fresh cracked black pepper, a little bit of salt. Kind of swirl it. And then we're gonna take all those salmon chunks right back in. Toss them. Make sure they're all coated. And just like that, you have your honey lemon butter salmon cubes done, coated in the sauce. Our rice timer just went off, so we're gonna pull that out and start assembling. So the last step to this is just cooking your broccoli. Like I said, sometimes I just prefer some frozen broccoli because sometimes I forget about my fresh broccoli and it goes bad. Besides, this is frozen at its peak of freshness. So I'm gonna take that same pan that I had the salmon in with all those flavors, and I'm just gonna add my broccoli straight to that. Add it all in here, let it cook. I got a little bit of water here. I'm just gonna pour over top of it. I added that water in, so now I'm just gonna sprinkle with just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Put this lid on, let this kind of just steam for about 2-3 minutes, and we'll be good to go. It's been a couple minutes now. Broccoli's steamed, cooked. As you can tell, the liquid is melted out of it. This was just wanted to get a nice cook on it. I'm not trying to overcook this because I still want some texture to my broccoli. So pulling this off the heat, I'm gonna strain it. Now we're gonna build our bowls. Rice, salmon, broccoli. Perfect healthy meal prep. 30 minutes and you're done. All right, so now that everything's done, now it just comes to assembling. Add in our broccoli. And now our salmon bites. Like that. Honey lemon butter salmon bites with rice and broccoli. And now for that good old taste test. It's gonna be a good week. I can deal with this.